this is the second part I'm starting, that is we have already completed in this lesson, that is in part 1, that is electric field, and we have come to know about the expression for electric field for point charge, even the distribution of charges. We know about how we can calculate electric field and everything, the vector attributes we are aware of. True enough. Now, after completing the or after having the concept of electric field, let us now concentrate on a topic called electric dipole. Okay, so di means two, carbon dioxide and all. So dipole, pole means polarity, that is positive, negative, something like that. So dipole immediately indicates to this fact that we are going to have two charges of so di means two poles, two polarities, positive, negative. So the basic definition in physics for dipole is very simple. Is a pair of two charges having same magnitude but opposite sign. I'm telling you, it's suppose these are 2 points where we have plus q and minus q. Okay, so this is that. So this arrangement is called a dipole. So we should have an axis of it. This is the axis of the dipole, and this arrangement is called dipole. That A and B, so having a pair of charges having same magnitude but opposite sign, polarities. So dipole. Now the thing is that how we can exhibit or how we can write dipole through mathematics. So you see, mathematics always tries to simplify things. It doesn't make anything complex. We are very much aware, or we are having this kind of aptitude or this kind of perception that mathematics, oh no, mathematics always tries to make things simpler. It never makes the things very complicated. It actually resolves a complicated things into a simpler form. So when we talk about dipole, through mathematics you can easily understand. Now what is the mathematical expression? Mathematical expression for dipole. Mathematical expression, and what is that? It is very simple. We just write this. Q1 plus Q2 is equal to 0 immediately represents that Q1 is equal to minus Q2. That means they have same magnitude but they have opposite signs. So that is the mathematical expression of dipole. You see, it's very simple. Now, since we have come to know about a new thing, so we have to somehow measure this new thing, okay? And that measurement is called dipole moment. Dipole moment. In class 11 in chemistry, you have done dipole moment, d by things, okay? Plus charge, plus sigma, minus sigma, and all. Partial charge separations for polar covalent bonds and all. Fine. You had dipole moments, arrows and cross. You remember? Very good. So in physics, we actually categorize in order to know, in order to exhibit this particular system or this particular thing, and that is dipole moment. What it means? Dipole moment is usually categorized with the symbol small p, and that is equal to, they say that Q into 2L, and that L, what is L? We now are going to do a center of this dipole, and we say that this distance is 2L. Very, very clear, right? Usually we write L. Why we are writing 2L? We are writing 2L because very simple. We are taking this to be the origin of dipole. Everything has to be calculated with respect to this point C. So we have L this side, we have L this side. So total is 2L. So this is the expression Q into 2L, charge into distance between the charges. Charge means the magnitude of the dipole is Q. They have different polarities, but the magnitude is Q. And 2L, this is the kind of radial vector. And dipole moment is very much a vector quantity. And what is the unit? It's very simple. Coulomb meter is the unit of dipole moment. Okay, so we have come to know about dipole moment. Now we are going to do very interesting things. We want to calculate electric fields with respect to this particular arrangement, which is called dipole. Okay, let's check it out. So I was telling you that we'll be knowing more interesting thing regarding electric dipole, right? Here it is. We have to calculate electric field due to dipole at a point on the axis of the dipole. And we have two more names for this. We call it end-on position or axial point. Because it is on the axis, so it is axial point, and a point on the axis outside, so it is end-on. So it is ending on point. Great. So we have an arrangement of dipole here. A, B, C is the origin of dipole, center of the dipole, length is 2L, L, L, like that. This is the direction of dipole moment, and it says dipole moment is always directed from negative charge to positive charge. I repeat, dipole moment is always from negative charge to positive charge. Electric field is away from the positive charge, and it is negative charge. For negative charge, electric field is towards. These are the conventions. So we have a dipole, we have taken a point P which is at a distance r from the origin of dipole. We have to calculate everything with respect to origin or center of the dipole, that is C here. Followed? Very good. So this we have. So we are calculating the electric field. We have this task today. So EPA, this is point A, so P. So we are calculating electric field at P due to A, that means plus Q. So it is that side. And next we are calculating electric field due to B at P. So EPB, that is this side, because it is negative. Great. So these two are the electric fields that exist at this end-on point or the axial point or a point on the axis of the dipole. Great. So now we want to calculate. You see, since we have already done superposition theorem, yes, the application EP equals to EPA plus EPB, we can go on adding. Here we have 2, so we are adding 2. So EPA, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R plus L whole square, because this is R plus, this is R and this is L, R plus L whole square. And minus Q minus I cap. So minus Q by R minus L whole square. R minus L is BP. Okay. So now we have to calculate the rest of the portion, and what we can see here exactly, and that is we have to add. Great. So this 2 is giving me R square minus L square whole square. Great. And we have taken Q out. So R minus L whole square minus R plus L whole square. So what it is going to come? This plus this is 2R, and this minus this is minus 2L. Very good. So we have a situation here that we have a negative, because this is negative. Great. No issue. 4 RL Q. So let us rearrange this. If we take 2L from here and apply it with Q, then Q into 2L is dipole moment P. And what is rest? 2R. So it's 2R. Great. So finally we are having an expression minus 2PR by 4 pi epsilon naught R square minus L square I cap. So this is my final expression. I will omit this I here. This is the expression. I have omitted the negative sign because I am going to write the final thing, that is EP. So it is towards this side. So it is along PA. Can you follow me? PA. Or else you can also say, what is that? Very interesting. We can say that electric field for axial point or end on position or at a point on the axis of the dipole is parallel to dipole moment, because they are parallel vectors. See, sure. So the electric field is parallel to dipole moment for this kind of arrangement. Okay. Now we'll come up with another one. Now we have another situation for electric field due to dipole at a point on the perpendicular bisector of the dipole, and that is called the Broughton position or equatorial point. I'm giving you a closer look so that you can actually perfectly draw this thing in your classwork copy. Uh, just draw it. It's not complicated. We have an arrangement of dipole at AB plus Q minus Q, and we have two fields EPA and EPB there, which is along PB actually, the blue arrow. I haven't written it because it's very clumsy, will become very clumsy, that's why. Anyways, and we have components of EPA, which is EPA cos theta along I cap and EPA sin theta along j cap, and also we have EPB, their components is along I cap, it's EPB cos theta, and there along minus j cap it is EPB sin theta. This is the diagram, please copy it. So what I'm going to write? I'm going to write EP, superposition principle, all of you. So it is EPA plus EPB. Write somewhere here EPB or something, because EPB. Okay. So that is, again I'll take 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught outside, assuming to be free space or vacuum. So EPA, since we are going to add, no, you can see when we are going to calculate with respect to the things, you can understand that EPB sin theta and EPA sin theta, they will get cancelled, because these distance AP and PB, they are equal, they have similar magnitude of charge, and they have opposite direction. So it is Q by R square or AP square and or Q by PB square, the same thing, PA equals to PB. So this way these will get cancelled. So what will remain here is, definitely you can understand that EPB cos theta, that is Q by EPA cos theta. So AP square. So AP square means, what is this? We have, this is AR, this much is L. So this is square root of L square plus R square, or R square plus L square, like that. So when we do the square, so it will come as R square plus L square. Great. And another one, we have Q by EPB cos theta, which is again the same. So we have R square plus L square, fine, but both of them had a cos theta. So we'll write cos theta, bracket close, and I cap, because both are in the direction of I cap. Is this clear? Very good. So now let me resolve it further. Q by 4 pi epsilon naught, and cos theta, you can understand, here is theta, you can have this right angle triangle PAC. So cos theta is base, which is AC, that is L by hypotenuse. So what you are going to get? You are going to get in this way, cos theta is L by hypotenuse, that is square root of L R square plus L square. That is going to come. Okay, no issue. So if it is so, we can go for it. And since we have these squares here, so cos theta will write immediately, and that is Q I have taken common, and this we have, this is still there. Okay, no issue. R square plus L square whole to the power 3 by 2. There was 1 by square root of L square plus R square, that part in cos theta, and we have this L. I mean Q plus Q, so 1 plus 1 L, so it is becoming 2L. Okay, so now we have this. Now see, Q into 2L, oh, P, great. So what I'm going to write? I'm going to write P by 4 pi epsilon naught R square plus L square whole to the power 3 by 2. This is it. And I cap, of course. So, what is the final expression I am going to write here? I am going to write P by 4 pi epsilon naught R square plus L square to the power 3 by 2, and the direction, I can see the direction. You see, I am writing here the direction of dipole moment is like this, and direction of electric field is like this. So it is towards, I can say, anti-parallel vector. Need not to write vector. Anti-parallel to dipole moment. So we have mentioned the direction as well. Anti-parallel to dipole moment. Can you see? Okay, very good. So this is the expression here. Now we can have, similarly in the last part also what I explained to you right now, just previous to this. There also you can do this. Let me just write it here. Small dipole. Let's say we have small dipole. Now what does small dipole means? Small dipole means R is much greater than L. So that immediately means this R square plus L square whole to the power 3 by 2, this will converge to R square plus L square whole to the power 3 by 2 converges to what? Tell me, is R cube. So what is that? EP. I'm just writing the magnitude is P by 4 pi epsilon naught R cube. In the last one that we did before this one, you will get, if you just assume this and you replace that R square minus L square part, you will get 2P by R cube. Okay, this is P by R cube, that is 2P by R cube. This is what we have here. Alright, so this is the explanation. Now you see, these two derivations are very important for boards. It usually comes alternate years. I mean, this year this one comes, or this year, next year the other one comes, like that. So do practice this. I hope you have understood. It's not that difficult or complex. Okay, sure. Now I'll come up with another part. One thing I'm skipping right now, I'll do it in the entrance part actually. Just copy these and practice these two derivations. Now I'll move into the part where we can do 2-3 numericals right now.
We have already calculated the electric field on the axial point or end-on position, and also for the equatorial point or broaden-side position we have the expressions, and even for the small dipoles we have expression. For axial it is 2p by r cube, and for equatorial it is p by r cube. So you are now comfortable with this. Draw this diagram and make a heading: electric field due to a dipole at a point P, capital P, as you can see in the diagram, and P, then first bracket r comma theta. I'm telling you what is this means and everything, you know already. And draw this diagram as it is, and then we'll go to for the solution of this. We'll solve this particular problem and find out the electric field at P, which is EP, as you can see in the diagram, and E1 and E2 are two components, and phi is the angle which EP is making with E1, and this is the diagram.
So I was telling you about this electric field due to a dipole at any point, and this point is very interesting. We have mentioned here about P, and you see how we have written the coordinates. We have written r comma theta. Now why it is so? This is a polar coordinate. You know that we have coordinate systems like Cartesian, where we write x comma y and all, and here we have a polar coordinate where we are writing the angle it is making with the origin. We are assuming that the origin of dipole or the midpoint of dipole is the origin of this polar coordinate system. So the vector has two things. One is the magnitude and the direction. So it is somehow like representing a vector, so nothing else. So we are writing in this way that a position vector, the point P is having a radial vector which is r, and it is making an angle theta at the origin. And this way we measure point P like x comma y, the same thing. Anyways, so here now this we have a dipole minus q plus q, 2l and everything, and of course you know about the direction of dipole moment like this. So this we know. Fine. What here at point P, if I assume that the electric field due to this dipole is EP, then we can actually resolve this into two parts. Actually, whatever dipole moment we have, we can also resolve that into two components, and that is, one is called radial component. I repeat, it is the radial component, means it is along the radial vector r. Okay, that is called the radial component, which is P cos theta. P cos theta is the thing, the dipole moment. If this is the direction, then it is P cos theta. And similarly, when we have another component called transverse component, transverse. Now what is transverse? Is very simple. Remember like this, that we have a radial component along the vector, fine, along the vector r. Okay, we write it as PR, which is equal to P cos theta as per the normal vector resolution rule, fine. And we have another component which will be perpendicular to P cos theta, and that is called transverse. Like transverse wave we say, like that, perpendicular to one direction. So transverse component P theta is called P sin theta. The P theta perpendicular to E is this. Now for these two particular dipole moment, we will be having two fields, E1 and E2. Don't confuse. These are the dipole moments, and E1 and E2 are the field which are due to this dipole moment, like we did in for axial point or for the the equatorial point. So now, so we have these two components of dipole. Now we are writing E1 first. Now what is E1? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 PR by R cube. Here, why I am writing 2 PR by R cube? Because we are assuming that this is a small dipole, because this point is quite far and all. So this is a small dipole as compared to R. So on the axis of the dipole, as we know this, on the axis of the dipole, along the direction of the dipole, for small dipole, the electric field is 2p by r cube, remember? And for the equatorial point, it was p by r cube. Fine. So E1 is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2pr, that means the radial component by r cube. Now 2pr, this pr is p cos theta. I am writing like this. We are just mentioning any direction like I cap j cap, because this is not lying on the Cartesian system of I cap j cap. This is already a polar component, so we are writing in that fashion. Fine. So this is what we have. Now we are calculating E2, which is perpendicular to the radial component. And what is that? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p theta by r cube. Now we are writing p theta, not writing 2p theta, because it is the equatorial field. So p theta by r cube, small dipole. So p theta by r cube. We are neglecting other things. So p theta is p sin theta. So that is the expression p sin theta by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube. Now my job is to calculate EP, and that EP is equal to sum of E1 plus E2. These are perpendicular vectors. You know, if you want to know the magnitude of EP, we have to just simply do this thing as per the vector addition rule. Okay, so if you do that, if you just take something p by 4 pi epsilon naught, this particular part you will take common. Then even you can take out something else also. We have r cube here. So square root. So let us okay, fine. We have square also, so no issue. So we will take p by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube, and what we have left, 4 cos square theta plus sin square theta. 4 cos square theta plus sin square theta. So sin square theta, can I write 1 minus cos square theta? I'm just doing a step jumping here. Yeah, it's alright. And we have a square root, of course. Fine. So what is now coming? Let me write where? This side. So now I will be adding this. So now from here we are going here. So what is EP? The magnitude I'm talking. It is P by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube, and the whole thing inside is 1 plus 3 cos square theta. So this is my final expression for this particular field at any point in space which is designated in the polar coordinate system. So this is the thing, and also we can find out the tan phi, which will show me the direction of EP. Tan phi is of course what? E2 by E1, you know, it is perpendicular by base, and sine by cos, something like that. And E2 by E1, so dividing all this, we are getting what? Half tan theta. So tan phi is half tan theta. These are the things. Now this is something which is the generalized form. It is not special form like axial or equatorial. So hope you have understood this. This is not much difficult. But the only thing is you have to understood, or you have to visualize everything with respect to polar coordinate system. Okay, sure. Now I'll go into doing the last part of dipole moment, and that is we have to calculate the torque with respect to dipole moment, and also the energy associated with dipole moment. This we are coming up right now after this. Okay, do copy this in your classwork. Okay, so now we are into another topic. Now we are very much interested to find out how the dipole behaves in a uniform electric field, and whether it experiences any rotating tendency or not. And yes, of course it will experience a rotating tendency. Now why it is so? It is so because when we are placing a dipole in a uniform electric field, uniform means they will be parallel lines. So if this electric field is like this, so of course I can imagine that this is the positive side and this is the negative side, because the direction of electric field suggests us so. Right, all of you, very good. So you can understand when we have a dipole, so we have a plus charge, Q charge here. So obviously there will be a force here. And what is that force? It is of course QE, the magnitude, and again this will be an attractive force, and again this is also. So we have two forces which are equal, opposite, and they are anti-parallel in direction, so they are forming a couple, and when we have a couple we have a chance of rotation. Okay, so we have to calculate the torque. Now what is torque? So here force is equal to QE, and what is tau? Torque equals to, it is force into perpendicular distance. Now this is the perpendicular distance between these two forces, this and this. This is the perpendicular distance. If the length of the dipole is 12, then this is of course 2L sine theta, where theta is the angle the dipole is making with the electric field. This is the angle the dipole is making with the direction of electric field is theta. So if this is 2L, the length of the dipole, as we know, then this perpendicular distance is 2L sine theta. So we can write F into perpendicular distance, and that is equal to QE into 2L sine theta. That can be further rearranged in this fashion. We can write Q into 2L, Q into 2L into E into sine theta. So finally, you can understand, you can definitely understand that we are having an expression which is like this. Tau is equal to Q into 2L is what? P. So tau equals to P into E into sine theta, and according to the concept of cross product, how can I again write tau as in vector form? We can write tau equals to P cross E. Very good. So this is the expression for the torque. Okay, So this derivation is very important for your board or class school exam. And this derivation you have to write few things, like we are assuming that a dipole of these plus q minus q charges are placed inside a uniform electric field. Length of the dipole is 2L, and then you say that force are making a couple, so they will have a turning effect. So it will form a torque. Force is equal to QE. Now you write all this. So in between you have to write few these lines. Just write these lines in your classwork so that you remember. Okay. After watching this video, while watching the video, do copy these things and write these lines. What I did say just now in your classwork copy. So this is clear. Great. Now once we have done with the torque and we can understand, okay, fine, this is having a rotational motion. So when it is having a rotational motion, try to understand. So we can also have a concept of energy related to this kind of dipole or this kind of motion, and that is definitely, it goes like this, and that is, so suppose this is the horizontal line of the electric field and this is the dipole. Fine, it is making at some angle theta and you are rotating the dipole. Suppose you are rotating the dipole from theta 1 to some angle theta 2. So you are rotating. So what is the energy? Or you are rotating it from 0 to theta, something like that. So energy, now energy means small amount of work done, and that is equal to tau into d theta. That's for sure. Tau is equal to, the situation is written here, is Pe sine theta and d theta. So total energy or total work done here will be integration of this. So Pe integration sine theta d theta, and the limit I'll give is your choice. Say, what is your choice? Fine, let us take a simple one, that is, we are taking this dipole from 0 to some angle theta. Fine, it's your choice. So integration of sine theta, what it is, you know. So finally, after putting all the limits now, what you are going to get? You are going to get this kind of expression. And from here, it is Pe into 1 minus cos theta. If you expand the bracket, it is Pe minus Pe cos theta. Pe is the standard value when it is at 0 degree. So what is the work done? Work done is minus Pe cos theta. Try to understand what I am telling you. I am repeating again. The dipole was horizontal. Great. What is the energy there? Its energy is Pe. You can understand. Pe cos 0. So Pe. Okay. Now we have moved it to theta. Fine. So in order to move this to theta, this is the energy. So what is the net work done? That was P. Fine. Now what work done I have already given to it. That is minus P cos theta. If it is so, then what I can say actually, we can say very simple thing like torque is P cross E. The work is P dot E. This is very conceptual. This is a revolution. Try to understand. We have two expressions: torque P cross E, work minus P dot E. Why minus? What does minus signifies in electric field or any field? You know from gravitation, chapter gravitation, that minus means binding. That means it was bound at 0 degree. You have moved it. So you have an expense of work, which is this. So you are doing work against the force or the torque. So that is what it is signifying, and that's why I told you this is revolutionary. This concept is very important, and in JEE Advanced, I'm telling you, they actually give problems from these small concepts which we usually ignore. Okay, I told you. So our chapter for this section is over. This is what we did for boards. We have completed all the derivations, all the definitions, all the concepts and everything. Now your part, you sit with your textbook for CBSE, ISC, State Board, whatever. You sit with your textbook, go through the things, solve examples, NCERT corners, uh, short answer type question for 1 mark, 2 mark, read all this. I have already given you in our Accenture's WhatsApp group, I have given you an assignment. You have completed few sums from there. The rest now you can do. Okay, solve those sums. We'll come up with a doubt clearing session within few days, and then you'll show me your problem. I'll solve your doubts. Okay. So this is all about the electric field. That was the first part, and the second part is I'm concluding here. That is electric field and dipole, and the different characteristics of dipole, which is now is here in this board. We have torque, we have energy, we have work done, and everything. So this you have to now go through. Here you can see there is a very interesting sum. They have said that 3 charges plus q, minus 2q and plus q are located at the vertices of an equilateral triangle of side 2L. You can see the diagram. We have located the charge. We have located plus q and minus 2q at the vertex. And in minus 2q, we have subdivided the charge in the way of minus q and minus q. Why? Because that we will come to know. So they have asked us what is the equivalent dipole moment of the arrangement. Now, here is a very interesting fact I must tell you. I told you what is the mathematical equation of dipole. Q1 plus Q2 equals to 0. If you add up all these charges plus Q, minus 2Q and plus Q, you will get 0. So here is an arrangement of dipole. Understood? Great. So now it's very simple. So we have done 1 minus Q for 1 P1 with plus Q and 1 minus Q out of minus 2Q charge. Since we have subdivided that charge into two parts of minus Q and minus Q respectively. So another minus Q and plus Q at the bottom is making P2. So we have two dipole moments, P1 and P2, making an angle 60 degree because it's an equilateral triangle. And the side is 2L, so no issue. So length of the dipole is also 2L. So we have net dipole moment. You can understand with the concept of resolution of vector. If you take P1 and P2 components, then two components which are sine 30 components along the x-axis, if you imagine x-axis there, will get cancelled, but the other two components which are cos components along the height of the equilateral triangle, that will remain. So total P is equal to P1 cos 30 plus P2 cos 30. We put the values for Q and 2L, P1, P2 both are equal dipoles. So the net answer is 4QL cos 30, which is 2 root 3 QL. Okay, this is the sum. Hope you have understood. So my beloved students, here is another interesting problem. They have given, see the diagram, and I hope that you seeing the diagram you can understand, oh okay, we have already done this in electric field lesson in the previous part. Okay, so let's read out the sum. It's given as a charge of 4 into 10 to the power minus 9 coulomb. 10 to the power minus 9 coulomb means nano coulomb, small n, capital C. Okay, is uniformly distributed over the surface of ring-shaped conductor of radius 0.3 meter. Calculate the intensity of the electric field at a point on the axis of the ring at a distance 0.4 meter from the plane of the conductor and specify its direction. What is the intensity at the center of the ring? You know that is 0. And they have also given one value, 1 by epsilon naught. They have given 36 pi into 10 to the power 9 volt meter per ampere second. They have not mentioned about 8.85 thing. Okay, so this are the values given. So let us go for it. So we know at P there will be DE, small elementary section for del Q. Will have del E or DE. So they have written that 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught del Q by R square as shown. Now since the components along the vertical line will get cancelled, all the sine theta components, only along x-axis we will have del EX. So that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught del Q by R square cos theta. So now we are integrating or summation, whatever you can say. So we are integrating this thing. We are getting total Q divided by R square cos theta, and cos theta you can see from the triangle. It is square root of 3 by 2 actually, a square plus x square whole to the power 3 by 2. This you know, this expression we derived already. Okay, so now we have to put these values. They have substituted the values, and finally they have got the answer 115.2 volt per meter. This calculation you can do easily.
And as I already told you, the center of the ring, that means that x is 0, and once the x is 0, there will be no field, because in the expression it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught qx by a square plus x square whole to the power 3 by 2. You can see it clearly in the picture. Okay, hope you have understood. Now comes another one. Now you can see the picture, which is apparently easier one. They have given as an oil drop having 12 excess electrons. So it is having a charge of equivalent to 12 excess electron, 12 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. This is the thought process. We have to always calculate in our mind while reading the sum. Okay, an oil drop having 12 excess electrons is held stationary under a uniform electric field of 2.55 into 10 to the power 4 Newton per coulomb. Okay, the density of oil is 1.26 gram per cc. This unit is they have given in CGS. We have to convert, that is a small amount of extra work. Anyways, estimate the radius of the drop. Given small g, acceleration due to gravity 9.81, they have asked us to take 9.81. okay, and electronic charge is 1.6, that I already told you, 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Okay, so the total negative charge, you can see the diagram they have mentioned here. The mg is balancing the force due to electric field QE, then only this oil drop will be stationary, I told you before. So QE equals to mg, that is our motto. So we'll be writing QE equals to mg. Now we don't know the mass, but we know exactly what we know the density of oil, and we have to calculate the radius. So mass can be replaced by volume into density, and volume, considering oil drop to be spherical, is 4/3 pi r cube. So we can write QE equals to mg equals to 4/3 pi r cube rho g. Okay, and now we have to replace all the values. R is equal to, they have given you an expression, you can see here, 3QE divided by 4 pi rho g whole to the power 1/3, that means cube root. Okay, so we have to do the cube root. Now they have just substituted the values, whatever the given values are, also converting that 1.26 gram per cc into 1.26 into 10 to the power 3 kg per meter cube, you can see. And then they have taken the cube root of it, and the final answer is 0.981 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter, which is equivalent. You can leave the answer till here, and they have calculated it further, which is 9.81 into 10 to the power minus 4 millimeter. Obviously the oil drop will have very less amount of radius. So this is very simple. So now it's all of my students, my beloved students, you should sit with your textbook, study from the textbook, and also do the assignments that is already given in our Accentus WhatsApp group. Okay, and so I hope you're understanding the concept. You have understood the concept of electric field and the dipole and the field due to dipole, torque, energy, and the problems and the concepts of everything, how we calculate the directional aspects of electric field, dipole moment, and everything. Do remember this concept. Sit down, stay calm, and read the chapter, go through the short answer type questions and everything, and then only you will be very, very comfortable with everything. And later on I'll definitely give you a doubt clearing session in our WhatsApp group of Accentus. Then we can solve the problems. Please do the assignment which is already shared in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so till then, goodbye, stay well, stay safe, and please don't waste time. Use this time to improve yourself, to improve your skills, to improve your intellect, or brush up your intellect so that it will be more sharper. Okay, till then, bye bye, good night.